Reserve Bank of India's stance on crypto assets is not a secret. It's well known that the Reserve Bank of India has great trepidation when it comes to digital assets, when it comes to crypto assets. They have been saying time and again, and the governor has been saying time and again, that the whole idea of crypto as currency at least could lead to financial instability. But today was a warning given to investors in crypto assets as well. When asked a question about this, Governor Das said that investors should be warned that cryptos have no underlying value. They don't even have the value of a tulip. Now, why did he talk about tulips? And this is where it gets interesting. Governor Das is referring to the tulip mania of the 1700s, when all of a sudden, the prices of this flower shot up and became very, very expensive. It was newly introduced at that time in that certain area, and everyone wanted it. The prices were ridiculous, and then suddenly it all collapsed, which is why very often the interest in crypto assets is compared to tulip mania. We're going to discuss on the show today whether that's a fair comparison. But first, let's play out for you what the governor said.
क्रिप्टो करेंसी जो है, आरबीआई का स्टैंड मैंने पहले स्पेल आउट किया हुआ है। हमारा जो पोजीशन है वो बहुत ही क्लियर है। क्रिप्टो करेंसी, प्राइवेट क्रिप्टो करेंसी और व्हाटएवर नेम यू कॉल इट, हमारा जो मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी और फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी के लिए बहुत बड़ा एक थ्रेट है। आरबीआई का पॉलिसी एक्शंस इन वेरियस एरियाज, वो क्रिप्टो, प्राइवेट क्रिप्टो करेंसी और क्रिप्टो करेंसीज which have currency like character, they will undermine RBI's ability to deal with issues of financial stability and stability. और जो इन्वेस्टर्स, आज कहना मेरा ड्यूटी बनता है, पहले शायद ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था और मैंने कहा था कि भाई इन्वेस्टर्स अपना फैसला खुद करें, लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं संक्षिप्त में, जो इन्वेस्टर्स क्रिप्टो करेंसी में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं उनको ये माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि जो भी वो इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं वो उनके खुद के रिस्क पे कर रहे हैं। दे आर इन्वेस्टिंग एट देयर ओन रिस्क। उनको ये भी माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि ये जो क्रिप्टो करेंसी है इसका कोई अंडरलाइंग नहीं है, नॉट इवन अ ट्यूलिप।
सीबीडीसी या डिजिटल रूपी पे हम पिछले करीब 1.5-2 साल से काम शुरू कर चुके हैं और काम चालू है। इस बजट में प्रपोज किया गया है कि आरबीआई एक्ट अमेंड किया जाएगा टू एनेबल इशू ऑफ सीबीडीसीज। एक बार वो हो जाता है तो हम जो पायलट्स हैं या प्रूफ्स ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं वो सब ट्राई कर सकते हैं।
Right, let's talk about cryptos and tulips and CBDC. Today, Siddhart Sogani, founder and CEO of CREBACO, with us on the show. I'm speaking with ZebPay today. Avinash Shekhar with us, Gaurav Dahake of Bitbns and Tamal Bandyopadhyay, author and senior journalist, also joins us on the show. Welcome to all of you and thank you so much for talking with us. Let me begin with Tamal's perspective. So, Tamal, as I mentioned, it's not new that the RBI is not a fan of crypto assets, but they have been talking about it in the context of how crypto as a currency will lead to financial instability. This time round was a clear warning to investors, saying it has no value, not even that of a tulip. How do you read into the statement?
No, Tamana, thanks for calling me here. There's nothing new. I think the tulip mania, that phrase has caught on and everybody got excited about it, because this stance of RBI has been a persistent stance. There is no change whatsoever. Just to take you back quickly, 2019, a committee was formed under then Finance Secretary Mr. Garg, and there are representative SEBI chairman was there, and RBI, one of the RBI deputy governor, Mr. Kanungo there, another person from Finance Ministry. This committee report categorically said that crypto is not acceptable, and we are expecting last year budgets to deal with this. It did not. Government took enough time on that, and then meanwhile, crypto as a like tulip mania. It grew. Everybody was I know personally people who never invested in stock market. They flaunt their mobile phone and said that how much they are putting in money in crypto. And then we saw all the advertisement, etc., etc. If you remember, I think sometime in August, I had personally had an interview on behalf of my paper with Reserve Bank of India Governor. Crypto came up, and there he said all the numbers you see also are highly exaggerated. Both the numbers of investors as well as the money invested in crypto. And again, he reiterated that it should not be there. And my understanding is subsequently Reserve Bank of India followed it up with a paper to the government with its extreme reservation about it. And what Governor today spoke about, I think that's part of the paper, that it is not a currency, neither is the currency nor an asset. So why do one invest in crypto? It's nothing but, I mean, if you allow gambling, that's fine. You look at it this way. If you are comfortable with this, then you go ahead. Incidentally, even El Salvador, the only country the first country which now accepted as a currency under pressure from multilateral agencies to actually withdraw from it. That's one part of it. And last but not the least, I'll just point out one more thing before taking too much of time. The budget you will not find the word, you use find a word, you will not see the crypto word. But budget used some digital transaction. That's how it did tax it brought in. Yeah. I don't know why government is so inhibited about talking about crypto. It did not. And what it said, it spoke about Reserve Bank of India's digital currency backed by blockchain. Now, you see, till now, the crypto mania has been catching on, and people have been selling crypto based on blockchain. They're making blockchain and crypto synonymous. But the blockchain is an underlying technology. Blockchain has multiple purposes. Crypto is only one of them. So to dispel that, I think Reserve Bank of RBI budget very clearly separated that, and it said, look, blockchain is not crypto. Even Reserve Bank of India digital currency will be backed by blockchain. So don't get carried away. So that's the case. Lastly, Reserve Bank of India digital currency will not compete with crypto because it is not a substitute for crypto. It's nothing but yet another.
We'll come to it. So, Tamal sir, we'll come to it. We have a whole conversation to have. We want to represent different views, and you clearly represent the view of those who are skeptic of crypto assets, something which is echoed by the RBI governor. Now, the question I started with, is it a correct assessment to compare this to the tulip mania? Because the tulip mania eventually died down and it got exposed in a sense for being a lot of froth. Now that's the comparison the central bank governor has made today, which is why this is important. Let me go to Gaurav first. Gaurav Dahake, what is your response? Because the question really to answer, and I'm sure you probably don't want to comment on what the RBI governor said, is that is there no underlying value to this? Is this now like the tulip mania?
Right. So any new technology that comes usually faces these inhibitions. Amazon was called Amazon.com. There were like over 100,000 articles that came between 1995 to 2002, which says the internet was a fad or was a scam, and its utility would no longer be sort of higher than a fax machine or those sort of things. And we know what is the stance today, right? Internet has banked the unbanked. It has kind of delivered multiple things and has been one of the single most important innovation in the history of mankind. Now, if a new technology kind of faces this sort of a thing, right? It is called by people who have been so like even for internet, it was called by Nobel laureates. They're like internet was a fad. And with respect to crypto, this has happened over and over again. So there are folks like Warren Buffett as well have tried calling it like rat poison, but at the same time, Warren Buffett has also missed the entire tech innovation space that happened with all the likes of FANG, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and all. So Warren Buffett was never sort of positive with respect to tech stocks, but tech stocks proved its worth. Same is sort of happening with crypto. Comparing it with tulip, tulip mania sort of peaked and died down. Crypto always bounces back. And the asset class has always been growing. Like over the last 10, 12 years, it has gone from less than say $10 million to about a 2.5 trillion sort of an asset class. So like that itself proves that it is not a mania or a small sort of spike. These spikes kind of keep coming, and the spikes take it to a higher base from where it was earlier.
No, so we have now one comparison with the tulip mania, one comparison with an innovation of the level of the internet. Avinash Shekhar, now the thing is that you could have different views on something, and crypto assets also have different views, but this is the view of the Reserve Bank of India. And which is why it is such a grave statement that has come in. So now let me put 2-3 things together and then ask you, what do you think is happening with this space? We know that there's now a 30% tax. There was a report today in the Economic Times that there is a thought process going on to add a GST as well as taxing this transactions. It has been likened to lottery by those in the government, and now the governor says there's no underlying value. The future is not looking very bright right now, is it, Avinash?
So I think, as you all know, that RBI stand on crypto is not new. I mean, the first notification or circular they issued was in 2013, when the Bitcoin price was $680 approximately. So obviously, I mean, it's a new technology. Not everyone is convinced, and we respect obviously RBI governor. We'll try to convince him and the government, obviously. What actually is happening is that saying that it has no underlying value, I mean, internet also has no underlying assets. What we are building is a decentralized network, okay? And whatever which can be done in a centralized environment, what Bitcoin enthusiasts say is that can be done in more efficiently, more transparently in a decentralized way. And that is what we are building, a decentralized network, and that creates a significant amount of value, network value. Another point which people, I think, talk about, that blockchain and crypto is different, and
okay, let me ask the question. Let me ask the question, Avinash. So what is the underlying asset? What is the underlying value of the crypto asset?
Yeah.
What is it?
So let's talk about Bitcoin. Okay. By creating Bitcoin, what we have created is the decentralized network, decentralized trustless network, where you don't need to trust a centralized party, or there is no single point of failure, and you can do transactions on that decentralized network. That has a value. As of now, I think there is all the systems which you have are centralized. So if the same thing can be done more efficiently, more transparently at a less cost in a decentralized manner, saying that has no value, I think is not fair. Another actually point, which is related point, is that saying that Bitcoin and blockchain is different. My understanding is that blockchain is just a glorified database. It's a glorified Excel sheet. Okay, and it has no value except if there is no coin or no Bitcoin associated with it, you can't separate it basically.
Okay, Tamal, I want you to respond before I go to Siddhart Sogani to some of the points that Gaurav and Avinash have made. Gaurav has said that there were people who could not understand the internet also and thought it would, be a fad and fade away. That has clearly not happened. And Avinash talks about how it is not correct to compare this to the tulip mania.
Well, I mean, you are clearly now trying to create a divided house and putting one against another. So let me first admit or confess I am not an expert. So it's not that what I am telling is the gospel truth and nothing like that. But I have a slight difference of opinion. I would like to believe that again, blockchain is an underlying technology, and the so-called decentralized ledger system, whatever you're talking about, that's all important, but that's not crypto. So again, combining the two, packaging, it's a chocolate, you have a good wrapper. So blockchain is that. And budget wanted to take that wrapper away. That said that even Reserve Bank of India, CBDC, the central digital currency also will be brought by blockchain. Blockchain has multiple uses. I mean, there's a series of uses. It's crypto is only one of them. So the entire, always it has been saying that blockchain and crypto is synonymous. That's I'm afraid I don't think it is correct. That's one. And also I don't think it's correct that it's comparing with Amazon and internet. The internet is not an asset. I'm not investing in internet as an asset. Internet is a platform, separate story altogether. Amazon, again, it's a way of doing things, like in some of the other ventures which entered with the stock market, and you have seen that initial euphorias getting over. People, they will come back separately, certain companies and all. So comparing Amazon idea and internet with crypto, it's not exactly logical. It's a completely separate thing altogether. And as far as blockchain is concerned, again, making blockchain and crypto synonymous, again, I don't see any logic at all. Blockchain has multiple users. I don't want to waste time on that. And Reserve, as I said, budget said that CBDC, central bank digital currency, will be backed by blockchain. So if we are selling today, if I'm selling crypto, that or a blockchain is there, now we can also say that, look, central bank digital currency also will be by blockchain. So what's the big deal about it? It's another matter that CBDC is completely different.
Okay.
It is a currency. It's nothing but an app. Whereas crypto it has an identity crisis, whether it is a currency or as an asset. That's even the crypto investors are not very sure.
Yeah, Samanna, I'd like to just respond to one. So when he sort of mentions that blockchain is the real deal, so blockchain is more synonymous to the internet, and the companies that got created on the internet, like a Google and Amazon, those are the crypto assets, like a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. And we are saying those assets have value. We're not saying that you're investing in blockchain. You're not investing into the internet. You're investing into the companies that were getting built on top of that. So Polygon is an example of that, which is a $20 billion company created out of India, which has kind of been entirely through blockchain. Yeah.
Thanks, Gaurav.
So we have highlighted this divide. We've highlighted this divide before between, I would say very loosely, the believers and the non-believers. But once again, I want to come to why we're bringing this up again today, because this is coming from the Reserve Bank. Now, my question is, Siddhart Sogani, let me come to you with this one. What happens when the digital rupee and the CBDC is actually launched? Will it lower the allure of private cryptos?
So Tamanna, I know I have less time, but I want to highlight 2 points. Of course, first to your question, CBDCs and Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies are completely different. They are apples and oranges. We can't compare them. CBDCs would run on enterprise blockchain, and all the servers would be mostly owned and run by the Reserve Bank of India. It will be a debt instrument. Decentralized assets like Bitcoin are debt-free instruments. The rupee note says, I promise to pay the bearer. That means Reserve Bank takes the guarantee to honor that. So fundamentally, the previous argument, I want to highlight that CBDC is a debt-free, not a debt-free instrument. Reserve Bank is the one behind it. But Bitcoin is a debt-free instrument. That means if I'm transferring one Bitcoin to Gaurav, the network takes the responsibility. There is no third party involved. Do not compare between CBDCs and Bitcoin and decentralized assets. They are totally different. And of course, I was really disappointed when Mr. Das said that it is a tulip bubble. If you study the tulip bubble model, you can just Google Wikipedia and study it. It is a clear Ponzi scheme run by a centralized group of people. So it's it wasn't decentralized. Here, like how Gaurav also mentioned, it comes in spikes, it is going up, and it is there in existence since last 13 years. The 13th year is going on. It's there in existence. Ponzi schemes and bubbles do not last this long and do not create so much of value. you must not ignore that one of the world's smartest people are working on this technology. They are not idiots. So you should the potential of this technology is totally ignored. And I was really disappointed when he's still comparing it with tulip bubble. I mean, you're missing out on a on the future,
Okay.
I would say.
And just one small thing to add
So
is that
let's talk about where this is going to lead. Yeah.
I have one small thing to add is that all the bubbles, all this Ponzi schemes, they flourish in dark. Okay, the moment you put light on it, they vanishes.
Okay.
Decentralized technology, Bitcoin, is that from day one you know everything. Everyone knows everything. Everything is available on the web for everyone to see.
Yes.
So there's a very, very big difference between Ponzi scheme and the Bitcoin.
So Bitcoin and crypto assets in general have been called the worst forms of money laundering. Like,
I take rebuttals.
Yeah. So yesterday, like the Department of Justice from United States caught a $4.5 billion worth of crypto theft that had happened. And that had happened like about 4-5 years back. And every single transaction was traceable. Like this was used for purchasing Walmart gift card. This was used for this. And all that kind of got traced over time.
Okay. No. So hang on, guys. Hang on. I know that there are, if you speak to people from the crypto space, and 3 of you are from that space, a lot of true believers, there are a lot of reasons that you can enlist on why it is good, that those who are not believing, that's fine. But I'm talking about where the policy is going to be headed. And that really is the question of the show. So let me come back to Tamal on that. Looking at the smoke signals right now, what we've seen in the budget, whether there would be a GST on it, akinning it to lottery, then what Governor Das has reiterated now, the fact that we're still waiting for the bill, and there's unlikely to be a ban. In which way is the policy measure headed in your view? Are we going to see it continue as is, with the government taking the view that we've given fair warning to investors and now it's up to them?
Well, Tamanna, before that, I just say that I completely agree with what Siddhart said. There is no comparison between central bank currency and crypto, because primary fact is this: in central bank, in CBDC, you keep 100 rupees. Your 100 rupees doesn't become 200 rupees or becomes 10 rupees. It's only the inflation can erode the value, nothing else. But in crypto, your 100 rupees can become $1,000 or one rupee. So that's the basic difference. Absolutely, there is no comparison. And CBDC will not compete with crypto. I think the CBDC will come to dispel certain doubt, and those who are not aware of this and basically get lured into through the advertisements, etc., and putting in money there, I think it's for them. CBDC will be there. It is nothing but an app, a purse that you carry, like you have UPI, etc., etc. I think now we'll see the pro and anti, if we call them lobby, in a positive sense, not that, will be even fiercer, which have already started. You have seen the advertisements are there, but they're withdrawn, but they're now coming up in new format. So I don't think the people who believe in crypto, they will give it up overnight. They will continue to do that. They will continue to convince people. They will continue to convince the policymakers. They will be strong. Again, if I use the lobby, it will be behind the door. But at the same time, the government budget shows that what is the government intention. It will not be a cakewalk, which earlier we thought it would be. Reserve Bank of India would not budge an inch from there. So I think you have to wait and watch. But more importantly, I think what we need, the crypto aficionados, probably a nationwide education or counseling or whatever it is, to make us understand, including a person like me, what exactly is this animal? Is it an asset? Is it a currency?
See what
is it?
No, I mean, forums.
Four of us on this panel agree that it is
I just want to ask, before I wrap. One question to Gaurav. Let me ask the question to Gaurav before we wrap, because we're running out of time. And this, I want to know that since the budget, What has been the response of investors? Has the rate at which new accounts are being opened or new people are getting onboarded, has that rate reduced? Is there some sense of fear, or is it business as usual, Gaurav?
So the demographics have started shifting. So earlier, people who were, say, about 35 plus were not taking part into crypto that actively. Now, with the taxation clarity, they are more sort of willing to explore this. Earlier, they're not very, like 75% of the demographics was between 18 to 35. That we are seeing a shift. The existing users are sort of concerned on the 1% tax a lot more than a flat 30% tax, because 1% is a continuous sort of tax, because one trader with, say, 1,000 rupees deposit might trade it 50 times in, say, a day, or 100 times in a day. So that is more concerning for them, and that clarity is sort of not out there. And our request to the government is to consider a new technology, any form of it, closer to any other parallel. So we would request, say, compare something like crypto to something like clean energy, where if you want to thrive a clean energy ecosystem, you'll give companies from outside soaps, incentives and other things to kind of drive it, rather than sort of restricting it in sort of ways that might sort of eventually kill the industry. But imagine if crypto goes from current 2.5 trillion to about 25 trillion over the next 5-10 years, and India does not participate in it. India loses the chance of becoming that $5 trillion economy, which would have accelerated via crypto a lot faster.
It's, it's sure. I mean, it's almost ironical that, Gaurav, that you compare cryptos to clean energy, because one of the things that those who question cryptos point out is that it is terrible for the environment and it takes up a lot of electricity to produce those coins. But anyway, I'll have to end this debate for the point now, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. The policy clarity continues to be a question mark, but the winds at least are blowing in a direction, from what we see, from what the government is saying, that they're not very keen on encouraging this at all. Will this get people to come off the crypto mania? We'll have to see. Thank you so much to all of you.